Hi friends, and welcome to my flip through of my 2020 December daily foundation pages. So for those of you who don't know, December Daily is a scrapbooking project that was created by Ali Edwards where you scrapbook 25 stories for the 25 days of December that lead up to Christmas Day. I've been participating in this project for, I think this is my 7th year. I did my first album when I was in high school in grade 11, I think, and then I've done them every year since my last year of university. So it's been really cool to see my life kind of changing, and of course, during the pandemic, everything is changing so much. So I wanted to show you guys the base of my album before I get to December and start filling it with stories and paper and ephemera and all that good stuff. I have kind of kept things a little more simple. There are a couple of more elaborate product play instances in my album, but overall it is pretty chill. So the album that I'm using is from Ali Edwards. It is a 6x8 album, red with white and bronze stars. I'm not a huge fan of bronze as a color for the holidays. I think it looks a little too orange personally when you're using it with red. So I'm using a lot more gold accents throughout my album, just for my own personal taste. So when you open up the album, this is what you see. This whole introduction is pretty much done other than any little bits and pieces I might want to add later on. So over here, I have a little sentiment on the inside of the album. I have this R sticker from American Crafts on top of one of these transparent circles from this year's December Daily collection. Below it, I just put a little sentiment sticker that says Simple Joys, and that is kind of my little decorative piece on the album. I wanted to keep it simple because the background is striped and it is very busy. It's not my favorite interior, but I'm really making it work and trying new things, so I'm liking it so far. I'm just using this star trim from Crate Paper, and I use this all the time in my projects. And this is just covering up the bracket that holds the plate on the outside of the album. Right here is kind of my pride and joy so far. So I created this die cut by lettering this quote in Procreate and cutting it out with my Silhouette. It was quite an experience and definitely took a lot of work, but I'm really, really proud of it. I think it looks really, really cool. This is kind of my reason why or purpose page. I don't usually do a reason why. It feels a little forced for me personally, but this year I really wanted to include just kind of a little sentiment because I feel like I kind of need to acknowledge that it is the 2020 album and this year has just been something else. So I just kind of added a little sentiment about how this year has been and just how I want to approach the holidays. Below it, this photo of the tree branches I actually took when we went to go buy our quote-unquote reusable Christmas tree from Michaels because we made the switch from a real tree. And I think it's kind of cool that my 2019 album starts with a picture of my dad and I carrying the Christmas tree, and our 2020 album starts with a picture of the artificial Christmas tree, really just showing how things change year to year. So right for my day one, I've got this little ephemera piece from Crate Paper. I think this is from Hey Santa from this year. And I have that just kind of suspended in the page, in the pocket, so you can see the green tree transparency behind it. I thought that looked really cool, and even when this is covered up by photos or cards, you're still going to see that tree element there. And I believe this card is from this year's Paisley Press mini kit, which is the kit I went with rather than the main kit. So you'll kind of see as I flip through here that I don't have a lot of elements in my pockets because December is so in flux this year. There are so many days where I have no idea what the plans are, and so I really need the ability to be flexible. So I didn't do a lot of product play and I didn't add any numbers yet. Here I just took one of the transparencies from the 3x8 transparency set and added another row of star trim. I just put that on with my tiny attacher, which I love so much. You'll notice that these blank pages, this one is on the back of a paper I got from the variety pack from previous years. And I'm going to probably cover this with a full page 6x8 or do some kind of layout on the page. I'm not going to put a lot down because I don't know exactly where it's going to be. I'm not sure which of the sides of these two cards I'm going to use, but I have them just kind of in there to give me a little something to start with. I'm excited to play with this empty 4x6 card with just the light dots on it. I have a couple ideas. So here I have this page, which is the holiday checklist, and you'll notice I have a little note tucked into the pocket, and there was a little note tucked into the pocket with a number as well. This is just my way of kind of keeping track of things that I want to do but I haven't been able to put into the album yet. So right here, I just have a note to myself that I want to have this page be a list of holiday movies that we will be watching, and I'm going to use my typewriter stamps to stamp the names of the movies into these little spots. I'm not sure if this will stay. I think this would be like the 7th. I'm not sure if it's going to stay there or not. Here I have the first of my two 12 square pages. I love playing with these. And I have this little sentiment, which is from, I believe, Echo Park. I will do the thing where I correct myself on the screen if I'm wrong. I believe it's from Echo Park, from one of their Christmas collections. I think it's really cute. It's got a very rustic farmhouse kind of vibe, which I like a lot. This 10 is just marking where I'm at so I don't lose track of my pages when I'm trying to reorder things. I like these cards together as well. And I think on this side is really pretty because you've got the kind of like goldish bronze and the pale pink. I think those go really well together. So I'm excited to play a little bit. I'm not sure if this will be visible or if I'll have that covered with a photo or something, because the side I really want to use it on is this side. So this is an example of a page that I have put together, but I don't know what date this is happening. So this is a cut file I made using the same font that Allie uses for the letter stamps. And I wrote out a little quote from a music video by Ginny D, where she did a kind of play on All I Want for Christmas Is You about Dungeons and Dragons. Because I know one of the stories I want to tell this December is that my Dungeons and Dragons group is planning on doing a Christmas themed session. So I knew I wanted to have a place to keep my session notes and maybe a screenshot or a picture. I've been setting up, like learning how to set up my self-timer so I can maybe take a picture of myself playing. We of course play over the internet, even before the pandemic, because we are spread out all over the world. And I definitely want to use this page to tell that story. I just don't know when we're having our session because it's hard to plan a session with 6 people that are all having different schedules. So when I know for sure when this is happening, I'll be able to move pages around, but I want to make sure I keep this layout. This is definitely the layout I want to use. I will link that video in the description in case you're a fellow Dungeons & Dragons fan. Ginny is pretty fantastic and I love her a lot. We keep moving on to the foundation pages. This card I have in for my mom's birthday, which is the 14th. Because there actually is a tick box that says birthday/anniversary. I don't think they've ever had a card, not in the kits that I've ever bought, that mentions birthdays explicitly, and the 3 people I'm closest to all have their birthdays in December, so it's kind of cool that I have a card I can use to tell the story of one of those birthdays. And then I have this paper here. It kind of looks like snow. I don't know how well it translates on camera, but it's really pretty, but I'm also willing to move things around, full page photo. I'm very flexible. This page picture is empty right now. I didn't have enough 4x6 cards to fill all of them, so I'll probably be cutting up some pattern paper to put in. I think this card is super cute too. This is also from the Paisley Press Mini. This is one of the only other main product play I did, which was Crystal's layout from the December Daily Prep Party. I did do the prep party this year. I've never done it before and I really enjoyed it. I'm really glad I did. I think this page is so cool with the fringe texture. It took me a while and it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I had so much fun with it. And I just added this for the holidays. I wrote that out in Procreate and cut it out on some gold foil sticker sheets with my silhouette. As we get closer to Christmas, I kind of leave things even looser because I know that these pages likely are going to move and turn. But I kind of like that. This is one of my favorite elements of the project, is that I don't like to have everything planned before December, especially in a year where a lot of our events are going to be like Skype calls and impromptu game nights and baking, things that I don't have a definitive date for. And I think a lot of people are experiencing that this year. So I wanted to show kind of how I was planning with a little bit of a less rigid setup here with less product play, because that's not my favorite thing. I like just getting to the stories and keeping it really simple. So it's nice to share a different perspective there. This is, I think, my favorite pattern paper. It says these are a few of my favorite things. This 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is not going to be visible. It is going to be covered because this is actually the 23rd, because I'm using the more plain side. I also may flip it and use the red side, really haven't decided. So I have a pretty consistent setup that I like to do for Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. So right now I have this half page 3x8 protector, and I'm thinking of using, I have them here just for an example, one of the transparent circles to kind of add a little bit of an overlap onto the picture behind it. But turning that, I have a note to myself to include a photo here of our Christmas tree on Christmas Eve on one side, and then when you turn for Christmas morning, you have Christmas Day on the other side. So I have the This Sparks Joy card in here for Christmas Day, and then this is one of the page protectors that has the 4x6 photo on the top and the 2 3x4 on the bottom. And then I have this divider from the transparency kit. And again, this could easily go over a full page photo on the back, kind of creating this half page look. I really like that style, so it's gonna depend on what photos I'm taking on Christmas Day and what information I have. If I have more stories, I may actually just do kind of just a layout on here with more photos. And then to close, I just have this buffalo plaid paper from the Paisley Press mini kit. I have some extra page protectors in the back. I haven't used all of them, so I'm open to cutting them down or using them, switching them out, depending on the photos I have. The one thing that I don't have in my album yet is any kind of after December setup. And this is because I literally have no idea what we're doing after December. Usually my best friend and her boyfriend come up and we play board games, but obviously with the pandemic, it's likely not going to be safe to do that in person. So it might just be different kinds of stories, but I still want to document, you know, whether we have like a virtual kind of Skype visit or, you know, just kind of wave at each other from the porch and exchange gifts and, you know, however it's going to work. I hope that this was helpful for everyone who is trying to set their album up a little bit before December. I've been having a lot of fun putting things in pockets, and even though everything will probably move around, it's really helpful to have a place to get started. Throughout December, I am going to be posting updates on my album. I'm actually hoping to do a kind of variant on like a Vlogmas this December and share weekly updates on how I've been spending my December and how my album's been coming along. I think that'll be really, really fun, kind of give a little bit more of a peek into my life other than my hands under the camera. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that when it comes along. I've got some really fun videos planned to round out the end of the year, and I can't wait to share them with you. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep it magical, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye, friends.